Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
I sympathize with the heroes, the protesters, talking about peaceful protesters that demonstrated at the Lekki toll gate. To be sincere with you, it's an unfortunate incident right at Lekki toll gate. And I say, may their souls rest in perfect peace, not only at Lekki toll gate, across the nations, those who lost their lives to the struggle. May your souls rest in perfect peace. All right, it's another edition of Bystanders at Newstimes on Flip TV with Michael Adekule. We have here the Nation newspaper and the Punch newspaper. Quickly to what we have on these journals. Buhari to youths, we have heard you loud and clear. That's the president talking here. We have heard you loud and clear. Discontinue your agitation, says president. Discontinue your agitation, says President Muhammadu Buhari. Southwest governors flay violence in Lagos zone. 700 billion naira lost to protest, says LCCI. 700 billion naira lost to protest, says LCCI. Economy still in shock. 2 policemen lynched in Ibadan. Stations set on fire. We have Tinubu 6 probe of Lekki shooting. Bring culprits to book. Tinubu 6 probe of Lekki shooting. Bring culprits to book. On to the next one, the Punch newspaper. Very punchy one here. President's broadcast. President Muhammadu Buhari's broadcast. Nigerians attack Buhari for snubbing Lekki shootings. Looting, killings continue. Nigerians attack President Muhammadu Buhari for snubbing Lekki shootings. Looting, killings continue. President broadcast empty, devoid of leadership qualities, says African Bar Association. We have speech lacks empathy, emotion, short of expectations, contains gaps, says the NSAS protesters and sons. On to the next one, the pictures on the front page of this journal. We have hoodlums and residents looting. That's the CA COVID palliatives in the Maza area of Festac Town, Lagos. We have hoodlums looting palliatives in the Maza area of Festac Town, Lagos on Thursday. Northern governors condemn attack on NSAS protesters, demand probe. We have another story here. ICPC arraigns Edo rep for alleged 1.6 million naira bribe. Khan demands probe of trigger happy soldiers compensation. All right, these are the stories we have on the front pages of the Nation and the Punch newspaper. Of course, we have our reviewers set to express their views on these topical stories. I'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
The president's broadcast yesterday. To be sincere with you, some Nigerians have, I won't even call it some Nigerians, most Nigerians and the protesters, especially over 2 weeks now, have been expecting the president to say something, which at the end of the day, he made a broadcast, but Nigerians are not really happy with what the president said.
Good morning, our viewers. Good morning, Mr. Michael. Every Nigerians were not happy with what the president said because the president himself did not address the main issues. He did not. His speech did not touch the concerns of what Nigerians were agitating for. What he was saying, what he said, what does traders' money, market money, COVID-19 palliative got to do with what the people are pressing, what are their pressing needs of this time? It is time for you to tell Nigerians, okay, Nigerians, so these are your demands, this and this. The government will set up panel of inquiry. It did not even commensurate with those with those that lost their life in Lekki. All what he was busy saying, COVID-19, palliative, traders' money, this one, even what happened in Lekki, what caused the shooting in Lekki, he didn't say that. He was busy saying off points. It was because the speech was written for him. Femi Adesina and co wanted the president to say what they felt, and the president have come out openly and disgraced himself yesterday, because the speech to me and serving Nigeria is just hopeless. There is no tangible thing the president could pinpoint or could like address in his speech. So on that note, me I've seen that the president himself is not capable of ruling Nigerians, because if he has waited for 14 days before he could address Nigerians, and when he even address us, the speech is so disheartening. Mr. Mike Adekunle, how can Nigerians be mourning in this time? And what the president could say in his speech is that COVID-19 palliative. And then one thing he said is that the so-called protesters, I held on to that word since yesterday. A president that could address protesters, tagging them so-called protesters, you show the president has lost it all.
You have the president making his broadcast yesterday. He made his broadcast yesterday, which Nigerians are saying that they are not really happy with. Some Nigerians, or most Nigerians, are disappointed at the president's broadcast. Your take on it?
Well, from your own point of view, you said most Nigerians are disappointed. Well, for me, it is. I've never been disappointed with the disposition of this so-called Muhammadu Buhari, because I know from his previous antecedents there's nothing to write home about. There is nothing you can desire about his personality and nature. So he is a blood-sucking demon. So that's whatever you call it, an address or a speech, is as useless as I anticipated. So it's a useless statement, and of course it is not a surprise to me that he had no human empathy, he has no, of course, feeling for humanity, that is not humane. So it is not a surprise whatever you are seeing. Of course, as the president of the so-called Nigeria and the Grand Commander of the Armed Forces, well, no other subjects, every other army officer are subject to him. And there wouldn't have been a shooting without his order. So imperatively, Buhari ordered the shooting of these innocent protesters. That is as simple as short. And he could not even at this time tell us his position if he's not the one. Then look at his statement, depicts that he sponsored and ordered the shooting of these innocent people. And the generation unborn will remember him for that. And that is my position about it. There is nothing like painting black white. It is the reality. He is the commander-in-chief of armed forces and the president of the Nigeria that wasted the innocent citizens who are expressing their fundamental and legitimate right of freedom of expression, conscience, freedom of conscience. They are telling them, you are not getting it right, you can do this and this to get it right. And mind you, at the point where they are raising the Nigerian flag and reciting the national anthem, you ordered your men, your subjects, to open fire on innocent citizens with Nigerian flag and of course reciting the national anthem. That shows that by that action Nigeria has totally ceased from existence, and of course each symbol of unity has been abrogated, and what we have now is anarchy, the state of anarchy.
All right. has been said that the president's broadcast yesterday was an empty one and devoid of quality leadership. Your take on it?
The president or presidency or chairman or whatever of Nigeria he is. His broadcasting yesterday wasn't a surprising to me. Because if you watch the man, the way he was doing, you know that they don't have the symptom or the manner or sympathy or kindness or love of human being. How can he make a good broadcast for the killing or for what is happening in Nigeria? Well, he was the one who said that the youth are lazy. He said that the youth are lazy. Now the youth come up to show him that they are not lazy, that they are active. Then he commands his men to be killing the youths. Now, when I came, I think on Wednesday morning here to view on the paper, I saw Nigerian flag, green, white, green. The green was now, the white now was decorated with the blood of human being. And the white represents peace. Green represents life and agriculture. Now, and the white was painted with human blood, which means there's no more peace in Nigeria. Nigeria is in war. Now, let me ask Mr. So-called Mr. President, if you are a citizen, hold your flag, singing the national anthem of Nigeria, then you order to kill them, or your army who is under your control went and killed them in any part of the Nigeria, then you keep mum, you keep silent for up to this day, you come out and say whatever you feel that will please you and your kingsmen. What if another country do it to Nigeria? What will you say? Let's assume another country come to invade Nigeria. They did not kill the army, but they killed Nigerian citizens. What do you that are called president will do? Now, tell me how other countries cannot kill Nigerians wherever they see them. If you, in your watchful eye, Nigerians were killed with the flag of the nation, singing the national anthem inside their own fatherland, then what are you telling other countries to do other Nigerians? Mr. President or presidency or whatever you call it, I'm asking of you. I thank God that this thing is no more Biafran issue. It's no more IPOB issue. If it's Biafran issue or IPOB issue, they will say kill him, kill him, kill him. They are sensationalists. But these are Nigerians. One Nigerians to be good.
Now, the African Bar Association said the president's broadcast yesterday was an empty one and didn't really make any sense. Do you consent to what he said?
I don't see whatever there's broadcast there. It doesn't make any sense. If the Chinese place, what better than it? Foul, make a ho on the street, seeking for food, far better than what the so-called president did. I mean, he don't know what to do. He's confused. He's confused. The president is only there for his kingsmen, Fulanis. He's not there for Nigeria. He don't care for Nigeria. Whether Nigeria is seeking or not, you don't care. What he cares for? Okay, look, okay. Why should president have a sympathy heart? Well, his trap men, Fulani herdsmen, are killing people for good 5 years now. He did not say anything. Is it only one day shooting in Lekki we move him? For good 5 years, Fulani herdsmen, his own brothers and sisters are killing other Nigerian nationalities. He did not talk. Then what do you expect him to do? That's part of his life. He always feel happy to see other people, other tribe, other nationality in Nigeria for their blood and their life to be wasted. It's part of him. He feel happy. He drive joy.
And I want to say condolence to the people that lost their life during these struggles. May their soul rest in perfect peace.
Honestly, may their soul rest in perfect peace. But there are diverse reactions to the president's broadcast yesterday. Some are not really happy with the speeches made by the president yesterday. Your take on the broadcast?
Oh, I never even bother to listen to the broadcast. I never even look at the broadcast or even set my view on that broadcast because I know nothing good will come out from it. This is a president we have that he has his rock heart. He doesn't give it them. So what do you expect to come out from such broadcast? And what I'm saying now is, I think is apart from the world's what's it called, leadership system. I don't know why he's making himself so different from other Western world leaders. He's supposed to have been. I think he travels out every day to UN convention. He travels out to AU convention. He should know how a leader should be responsible for anything that happens in this domain. Now, my own even issue, what people have been saying, my own is going to be a double jeopardy very soon now, because the UK Parliament now, the Nigerian diaspora, Nigeria and the UK, they are compiling signatures. And the UK now, you need up to 200,000 signatures for them to carry out any act of sanction or any. There's going to be heavy hammer of sanction on Nigeria very soon, in which people don't even understand that. And who is going to bear the brunt, man? Is the masses. Is the masses. These people, they know how to maneuver their way when all these sanctions happen.
Now, there are allegations that Tinubu, as the former governor of Lagos State and the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, was involved in the massacre at Togate. There be opinion view I've been hearing, because I've been monitoring the issue right from onset. Some people are saying, as a governor of the state, which is, I think it's not only Tinubu, we should talk of Sanwo-Olu too. He's culpable. The guy is culpable too, because every 2 weeks you have meeting with security chiefs in your domain, which you have the commissioner of police, you have the chief of army staff, you have the chief of naval staff, you have the chief of the GOC of army in Lagos, you have the commissioner of police, you have the DSS, and that meeting has been coming randomly, and they held the last one 2 weeks ago. And what happened is, there has been cordial relationship between the governor and the security chiefs in his domain. So Sanwo-Olu said there's going to be curfew around 4. Now later, towards 7, you announce that it has been shifted. Towards that time you announce, who brought in those army? Who brought in those army? And I know the closest army barrack, the closest command to that Lekki Toll Gate is Dodan Barrack. It's Bonny Camp. Sorry, it's Bonny Camp. So Mr. Sanwo-Olu cannot say he doesn't know what is going on. Maybe he sent them there to just harass them, but the soldiers went too far, because money must have exchanged hands for mobilization. What is going on in this country now? There might be no end to it sooner, because what we have been fighting for as the freedom of the youth, freedom of liberation of the youth, is still, the oppression is still going on, and we need to keep our eyes open. And no bullets. Me, I'm not a miscreant. Me, I'm not a hoodlum. And when you are even talking of these hoodlums, who is the father of hoodlums? Who produces all? If you have a good governance, there will be good hoodlums. Look at our security agencies. They are not well paid, and they are turning their grievances on the masses. Of course, the demonstration has been on for over 2 weeks, in which people expected the president to come out and address the nation, especially the peaceful protesters that demonstrated. But at the end of the day, just yesterday, the president came out and voiced out. He made his own speech. But people are feeling this time around that, looking at what he said, the address he gave to the nation, there was no kind of empathy or sympathy in it. Your own take on it?
Yeah, if you look at the statement of the man called Buhari, the man is as adamant as stone. That is, he has no feeling. When they say that somebody is adamant, I mean, such a person just behave like a non-living thing, somebody without human feeling. Do you understand? in this very situation, this very particular critical situation. Buhari does not show any remorse. He does not, doesn't show empathy, sympathy, share, understand. Let me call it general benevolence or, just commiseration, in a situation whereby you sympathize and say, I apologize or sorry to the families of the victims of the disease, That's what makes you a good leader. But in a situation whereby he comes out and just voice out bullshit things, statements like that, inciting that he's not a good leader. This man was not elected as a competent leader. They just imposed him there. His election wasn't on merit. Buhari was elected, he was imposed on us as a president by the ex-generals. So we don't expect him to act like a Democrat, a good Democrat, somebody that understands the people's feelings, somebody that was elected by the people. Shane, let me tell you, Mike, you don't have to tell me now that Buhari did not know what happened at Lekki Toll Gates. Nobody can ever convince me that none of them, the governor himself, Sanwo-Olu, the GCO or the commandant of Bonny-Camp, the nearest barracks to Toge, that he didn't know what happened there. Where were they towing those Ezugu armored tank to? Nigeria made Ezugu armored tank, that was being conveyed with those large, huge truck. Do you understand? They put it on truck. They were going to that axis and they started posting it to us, posting it to the whole world. Look at them all. And never before that, someone went there and cut the lights. She understand, and the CCTV was deactivated. She understand, but God's so kind. People in the United States of America started viewing it. They started seeing this action before we Nigeria pick up. Some of their relatives started calling. Make sure you did not go there or see Nigerian soldiers. So we see some troops going on there armed. I'm telling you, they made calls. So let me tell you, they are aware of what happened. Okay. He doesn't have to show any remorse or sympathy because he's aware. No. And let me tell you again, if the whole southern youths in Nigeria died, Buhari cannot be moved. Buhari will still remain unperturbed, snobbing. It doesn't concern him.
And now that he has made the broadcast, now that he has addressed the nation, what do you think the protesters should do now?
Yes. If he could, had he pleaded with protesters, I'm sorry, I apologize, sorry, go back to your demands should be, met. Do you understand?
We can't leave the fact that
your demands should be.
Hoodlums have hijacked the process.
Thank you. Your demands should be attended to.
Demonstration.
Yes. Your demands should be, attended to. Everything. So the youth will be happy. The youth will even, address the issue. They will even calm down the hoodlums. The hoodlums are part of the youth. Only that, there's a bit difference. Do you understand? So had it been, he said the right thing. Had it been, everybody felt him. That this man felt so sorry. Nigerians would have been debating about good Buhari this time around. But
would have relaxed.
Thank you, but Buhari still remains a beast. He is. He is a beast indeed. He was a beast then in 1984 till 1985 when he was ousted by Babangida. The Buhari-led coupists.
Right.
I'm telling you, he's still a devilish man.
For the opportunity to speak, I want to assure you that Nigerians should not expect anything from President Muhammadu Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari never come with good intention to bring Nigeria out of poverty, out of destitution, out of lack, out of impoverishment. What the script President Buhari played yesterday confirmed to us that is the script that have been written, which also play out the Lekki Toll Gates killing. President Buhari has no plan to bring anybody out of problem, out of poverty. President Buhari has only come to mark the register, to be one of the members of the Nigerian Military Supreme Council to rule Nigeria. That his name should count as one of the presidents who has ruled Nigeria. He has no plan for anybody. As a result of that, I discovered that all the speech President Muhammadu Buhari made take records back to the speech he has been making since 2014 when he visited the Chatham House in London, when the shout was going and questions were thrown at him that how do you want to achieve all this that you have said? Number one, my agenda for ruling Nigeria is security. security of lives and property. Mark my words, security of life and property. Number 2, I am going to create about 2.2 million employments within 9 months when I become Nigerian president. Number 3, I am going to ensure that the youth receive 5,000 naira as a stipend palliative for those who are unemployed. But we discovered that immediately President Buhari entered, when this question was thrown at him during the campaign at Osun State in Ilesha precisely in 2019, President Buhari blatantly refused and refuted this claim that he never made such claim. He never promised any Nigerian 2.2 million job in 9 months. He never promised Nigerian 5,000 naira as a stipend in salary for the unemployed. That he never made any promises. But the question now came to me, and I sat down to think. And I went back to the words of Karl Marx, which he made in 1942. Karl Marx asked the question, how unfortunate it is to the people that are being ruled to know that the government is oppressing them. It's unfortunate Buhari government has come to play the agenda of oppression against the innocent Nigerian. At this juncture, I want to reiterate again, for Nigerians, the youth, those who are sincere, I'm not talking about the criminals who have hijacked the protest, not to heed President Buhari order that the protest should be stopped. The protest should continue. On this note, I hereby submit that Aluta Continua Victoria Asata for the Bas, for the Bos, we shall achieve our aim of liberation from brutality. Brutality from the government that we know, brutality from the military, brutality from the police. We shall be free at the end of the day, and the God of freedom shall rescue us from the hand of the lion who is sitting in Aso Rock. Thank you.
And on this note, I say goodbye to you, viewers. Thanks so much for joining us on today's edition of Vice in the South Instance. I remain Michael Adekunle behind the camera first. Also, you can join me on my social media handle, Facebook, Michael Temitayo Adekunle. You can also subscribe to our sister channel, Flip TV Plus. Have a good day, everyone.
Audio